known as Dreadhead Fairy, and today I'm going to be teaching my fellow fairies how to make watermelon ice cream. Okay, so these are our lovely ingredients that's going to make this recipe taste very amazing. First, we have a watermelon. You need an entire watermelon to make enough to feed everybody in your family, your mama, your dad, your brother, your sister. So you just gonna need a whole watermelon, okay? Then you're gonna need almond milk. I poured 2 cups into this glass to make it easier to use. You're gonna need a 1/4 cup of blue agave, a 1/2 cup of coconut cream. Almost forgot the name. I'm weird like that.
I want to make a correction. What I called coconut cream is actually a mixture of almond milk and coconut milk in the form of heavy cream. It's a brand called, I'll put it in the description box below. Just look there.
And a tablespoon of vanilla extract. Got my friend the cutting board here. And I just want to give a disclaimer. I know there's a lot of versions of this recipe floating around online. It's not uniquely mine, but this recipe here, I created it. So this is like my version of it, I guess you could say. Whoa. Okay, so we're gonna make a bowl out of this beautiful watermelon here. So I'm gonna have to cut this out strategically because we want to keep that bowl-like shape in the watermelon. So I'm just gonna make little lines like this. Damn, this watermelon's tough, man. Fun fact about watermelon, it actually is native to the African continent. And I think that's part of the reason why the watermelon is associated with blacks. Another fact about watermelon, another reason I think that blacks are connected to watermelon is because during the Emancipation Proclamation, after the Emancipation Proclamation, like after slavery was over, my bad, blacks were granted 3 acres and a mule, or 50 acres and a mule, okay? And a mule, okay? And on this land, they were limited in the amount of things they can grow. So one of the main fruits that they were able to grow was watermelon. A bunch of black men became watermelon merchants, and it started becoming like their thing, like the way Mexicans sell oranges. It was black people's thing to sell watermelon back in the 1800s. But then like white entertainers started to clown black people for liking watermelon, the fruit that's like native to the African lands. And they started making jokes. A lot of you guys know the story of the ice cream truck song, how it's actually a song. The actual lyrics make fun of black people eating watermelon. Sad. But now us blacks, we're proud to be eating watermelon now. They can't clown us anymore because our fruit is good. Okay, so both of the bowls are finished, and I have this excess juice right here. We're not gonna throw this out. We don't waste food in this kitchen. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pour this excess juice into a cup, and we're gonna use it to give the ice cream some extra flavor, a little flavor. There we go. Gotta put these bowls to the side here.
Now I'm putting all of the chopped up watermelon inside of a bag so I can prepare it to be frozen. And don't attempt this recipe without freezing the watermelon. The watermelon must be frozen in order for this to work. So just keep that in mind.
Okay, so it's all in the bag. I'm gonna roll this down and get this watermelon frozen. So I don't know how long your freezer takes to freeze, but for me, it's about 2.5 hours to 3 hours. So it just depends on how quickly and how strong that your freezer is. Okay, so our watermelon is nice and frozen. Now we're gonna take it over here to the blender and get this started. So we have the blender, we have all of the ingredients here that we're gonna put into the blender along with the watermelon. So yeah. Okay, so I'm putting our frozen watermelon into the blender. We're finally at the step where we're gonna actually turn this into ice cream. So I'm gonna put this inside. That's the thing about freezing it. You're gonna get like large chunks that freeze together, but it's all good. It's all good. Just break it up with your hand. Feels like freaking snow. Whee! It's cold, it's cold, it's cold. Okay, we're gonna break this up like even further, like this. You know what? It's gonna blend in here. Alright, I'm just gonna put a couple pieces of ices in here to give it that solid factor even more. There we go. And the reason why I'm using almond milk is, for one, it's vegan, and for two, it's really thick, like it's thicker than the other plant-based milk. So it's really gonna give it that creamy factor. And when it comes to almond milk, I'm just gonna add it a little bit as I go, because if you start out with too much, it might throw off the consistency, so just keep that in mind. So we're just gonna start off with that much. I'm gonna move on to the coconut cream. This is also gonna contribute to that creamy factor that we're trying to make. Gonna add the vanilla extract just for a little bit more flavor. And I also want to put out a disclaimer about this. I'm aware that there's a bunch of different versions of this floating online. As I said in the beginning, this is my version of it. So it's not like I'm ripping off of somebody else, you get me? Because this is my version of it. We're also gonna put the agave a little bit in at a time too. It just depends on how sweet you want it. And of course, we got our watermelon juice right here. Our watermelon juice is gonna propel that watermelon flavor even more.
This is me just adding more watermelon as I go. And by the way, I only ended up using half of the amount of milk I intended to use. So just keep that in mind. Again, I'll put the actual ingredients down to a T in the description box. And I'm just adding the watermelon as I go right now to make the consistent thicker.
This mixture is finally finished. I had to roughhouse it a little bit, but you see it has that creamy ice consistency. It's more like ice milk if you ask me, ice milk. But it still has that very creamy consistency. It's like ice cream. It's a very good, summer. This is like a very good summery thing to have. Just gonna put it in this bowl for now.
Mm-hmm.
It's all melting. But this is the beautiful finished product here. I'm gonna go outside and take some pictures with my product.
Thank you for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next vid.